Kuch Ankahi is the best drama on air right now on Pakistani television. And I will tell you why in just a minute, but I think first of all we need to appreciate the team that has brought this drama to us. Now, first of all, I think we need to understand that having strong female characters at the forefront is something completely new for a Pakistani drama, because usually when they try to show a strong character or somebody who works, there is always that negative connotation attached to it, that they are too fast or they are too outgoing or there is something wrong with them, and once they get married and settle down, then their life is complete, right? But there is none of that present in this drama. So we have three very strong female characters present. There are more than three in totality, but let me just mention three first. So these are the three daughters of this gentleman, who again is shown to be proud of his daughters, which is also a foreign concept in Pakistani dramas, because Pakistani dramas usually have parents lamenting the fact that, oh my god, I have a daughter and how am I going to get her married, and oh my god, I have two daughters, oh my god, I have three daughters, oh my god, I have four daughters. But in Kuch Ankahi, they've sort of combated that idea and they have kept it very pure. They have shown a father who's proud of his daughters, he's happy with his daughters, and as a result, of course, he has raised strong daughters. So we have three of the main characters, which are three sisters. The first one is played by Meera Sethi, and that is Sania. Then there is Sajal Ali and Alia, and then there's the third one, Tanya. Yeah, Tanya. Now, I think what wonderful things they've shown in these three girls are they're all very different from each other. There's no set, again, this is also a very new thing to see characters who are so varying to each other. There's variety, right? So Samia is this quiet and sort of understanding and a little, she's very quiet and she has that quiet strength to her, but she's not rebellious. She does not fight even for herself. She does not have that fight in her. Like, she has patience, she's very patient, she's quiet, she's 1,000 other things. She's not a fighter. Then we have Alia, who is a fighter. She has all the fight in her, and she is the one who supports the household, and she works in real estate, which again is such a male heavy job, right? So even the jobs they've picked for the characters, it's such a male oriented profession, right? And so what they've done is they've broken that stereotype that real estate is something only men handle. And so she's in real estate and she has a business competitor who she's completely destroying right now, which, I mean, amazing. Good job, Alia. And then third we have Tanya, who is a little chubbier, and then she's often at the her mom's often after her because you're fat, you need to lose weight. So there's also that. So you see, it's nothing is on the nose. The drama is not called Moti. Like, that was a thing, imagine. But there's nothing's on the nose, but there's these subtle remarks, these little jokes and the little comments which are just part of everyday life, and everybody takes them in stride, but they sort of do matter at the end of the day, and they've portrayed the whole thing beautifully, I might add. So then we have Tanya, who is sort of again in a profession which normally parents are sort of not very happy to send their daughters in, which is media. And so she's a media student and she's at university and she's studying, and then she has a friend who's like shown to be her best friend, and they have this wonderful, and he's part of the household and everybody treats him like family, and his name's Ali and he's just part of it, right? Now, obviously, to raise three strong women, we need a strong woman. So the mother is also a strong woman per se, but she has those typical desi mom tendencies, those stereotypical tendencies where she's constantly worried about who's gonna marry them, they don't know how to cook, you need to know how to cook, you need to know this, you should stop working, you should do, so they always, because they have that sort of undertone of these comments and taunts going on constantly, so it doesn't feel, again, it does not feel fake, it feels very realistic, because you see these characters, these people in the world around you, right? Now this is one family, right? Now there are other characters who are not technically out, not part of the family, but they're also like outside the circle of family. So then comes in the Popo, right? And she has a fight with her brother over the inheritance. Now these are all brothers and they have one sister, and she wants part of the inheritance. Like, so the main story, so at the background, right at the background, we have a storyline which sort of focuses on inheritance issues, right? And how brothers do not give inheritance to their sisters, and how when a man has 4 daughters, the property is not passed down to the daughters. So it's sort of, there's this background of inheritance issues, right? And so there are a few key factors to note in the inheritance part of the show. So there is that one factor where when a man does not have a son, all of it does not go to his children. Part of it is also divided amongst the siblings, and then part of it goes to the children, right? So there is that part. And then there's the usual that, siblings not giving each other part of the property, siblings sort of trying to cheat each other out of to get more money, and then siblings not giving sisters, like brothers refusing to give sisters property. So these are all background messages which are constantly, this is the storyline, that's like the main background problem which is ongoing, right? And now Popo is also a very strong character. They've made a few things, how she runs away from her marriage, and like from her wedding, like from her actual wedding. And so there's underlying comments about that, and how people don't forget, and etc, etc. And she has lived a happy life, her husband's dead, and she has no children. And so we also see the person she ran away with, and so that's Thanvi Saab, and he is also part of this dynamic, in whatever way possible. He's helpful. They have a maid, and who's part of who's like family. She has a husband who's abusive, and he beats her and steals her money for drugs. And she has 2 children. Now, all these stories are so well interwoven with each other, and nothing seems forced. Like, her daughter is a TikTok star, and her younger son, she has a younger son who refuses to go to school, so she starts sending him to the tailor, right? And you can see clear signs of him being abused, and he's he sort of withdraws and stops talking and gets really scared of men. I think so. It's an ongoing story, of course. It's still running right now, and there are also these, then there's this Miss Sehrish and her brother Aswar, which is Sheheryar Munawar, and they're both these rich people, sort of Sajal Ali's bosses, sort of, in a way. And there's that storyline going alongside it. And then there's Salman, who was Sajal Ali's business competitor, and then they sort of become friends at some point, which again, okay, so now we have these interconnected characters. I've just explained the characters. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, of course, but what I want to say is that I think with this till now, what we've seen is that the characters are sort of evolving. Everybody is improving. Samia gets married to a man who's having an affair with somebody else, and she chooses to get married in spite of knowing about the affair, and she is still being patient. The mother-in-law is problematic, but I think now at this point, this is a turning point. We are beginning to see characters sort of shifting. Just that little bit. It's not like a complete 180-degree tilt, that's unrealistic. But we're beginning to see a little shift. The characters, like for example Saif, who is Samia's husband, who is shown to be a coward throughout the drama, and he's super afraid of his love interest, and and his mother. But he's with Samia, after getting married to Samia, he's becoming he started thinking more, and she gives him that importance, so he's becoming in a way braver, and his focus is sort of shifting off his love interest like Shagufta to Samia now. And that little shift, and it's not like very obvious, but you really see it in his expressions, and Ali Safina has done an amazing job portraying this character. Then we see Sajal Ali. Now, with Sajal Ali's character and the story arc we are going for, I think the biggest problem I feel right now is that I did not see an Alia Salman storyline. I did not see that moment where they go from being competitors who hate each other to being two people in love, right? That does not happen. If you were looking for like a storyline and arc, there's no arc. One day he just makes this comment that anybody can like you, you're so pretty, and suddenly she's smiling and everything's different, and it doesn't, it's not real. Again, it's like something's missing. It feels like they've either cut the story short and they had to cut the part out or something, but there's something missing. There has to be a bridge. There's no bridge. With Sheheryar Munawar though, we are seeing the shift. We are seeing her story developing with Sheheryar Munawar. So right now, Salman and Alia are not getting along at all, and her boss, who is Asfar, which played by Sheheryar Munawar, we're seeing Sajal Ali and Asfar's rapport sort of build and change sort of. What we're seeing now is the story arc of Sajal Ali and Sheheryar Munawar, and their stories, the characters are changing in a way that initially she was afraid of him, now she's brave enough to stand up in front of him. He admires her in a way, and it's sort of, you see it now. You're seeing the story arc, you're seeing the development of a relationship, and something which mutual respect, and sort of that's building, right? And I think that was missing from Alia and Salman arc. And last we have Tanya's arc, which is her best friend's Ali, right? And then we have, I forgot to mention this other character, which is Shakil, which is played by Naan Samad Khan. And Naan Samad Khan is an amazing actor, and he's playing this, it's like this comic sort of a character, and he is their cousin. So he is a chacha's son, right? He is the son of an uncle, and he's there to take over the property. He's like, I want my right. But he sort of, you see him start to fall for Tanya, and he likes Tanya, but then there's also the question, does he really like Tanya, or is he just doing it for the property? But overall, Kuch Ankahi is an amazing story. It reminds you of Ankahi and Dhruv Kinare in a way. The family relationships and everybody sort of, amazing. Very well done. Now, one thing I would really like to mention is something I really liked about this drama was the fact that they show women respecting other women, and they're teaching their sons to respect other women. There is this part where Salman is mad at Alia and he makes some comment about her character, and his mother shuts him down right there, and she says that if you don't agree with her, do not agree with her, but at least respect her choices. And I think that is such an important takeaway. I think if you watch it for nothing else, watch it for this line. Watch Kuch Ankahi for this exact line, because oh my God, I have been waiting to see something like this set on screen for years now. Like, thank God. So this is why Kuch Ankahi is a must watch, and you must watch it. So are you watching Kuch Ankahi? Why don't you let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!